Okay, and we're live. Hey, what's up guys? James here, back with some Arknights today. I'm actually not feeling the best right now, but I really wanted to read to get started with this event story, because if we're gonna read it, we should read the entire thing. So if we're gonna start it, we're gonna go through the entire thing, so yeah. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to stream today, considering I don't feel the best right now, but yeah. I've already farmed up to BB8, because I saw that, I think that's like the last farming stage apparently. There's like 2 more stages, 9 and 10, I haven't done. So I'm gonna leave that for today, hopefully. I don't know if we'll get to it. Or maybe next week, I don't know, depends. But yeah, let's get started with the story. And we'll do gacha in a moment. When a bit more people around. Okay. Unfinished goodbye. A speck of blood red spot upon speckless white. Boy cries in his dreams. To weather the blizzard, a girl wraps him within her cloak and wipes his tears away. Freezing, gusting, the air screams on. Softly, Cyclops tells of an epic tale, far, far away. Through the snowstorm seams, her voice comes. The myriad souls calls become harmony with it. The boys whimpers the drum of their beat. The stream is bitter cold. Within, the girl seizes a faint breath. She covers the boy's eyes and closes her own. Even now, even here, for them, the ballad from 1,000 years ago is still playing. Armies fell upon our home, them I saw from afar. From valleys to hills, our lands they scarred. The king slaughtered, the myriad souls did lament. Yet one sovereign fell, 6 heroes rose. They blew the horn, led the fight, faced their foes. Alas, the wanderer's city collapsed. To ruin swift as the fleeting peace elapsed. When all seemed lost, a black crown appeared. Twins brought hope where dread had reared. Breads the rift, giving birth to betrayal. An assassin in the heart of tempest, them I saw from afar. A sword to slay the regent king, a spear to pierce the royal ring. Legend ends as justice calls, to righteous fate the mighty falls. I can't read story once I skip the clearing stage. I still at stage 5 story. Alright, I skipped all the way to clear the farming stages. I'm at the 8th stage, just to farm stuff. I left the 9th and 10th to Dawn stream. Also, what's up, man? That is how the episode ends. The Cyclops fades into the blizzard of the dreamscape, leaving the child behind her. Boy's own cries grow distant from his ears. He wakes. Summer 1094. Outskirts of an abandoned town, Casdal. That is how this episode ends, Escalon. My story is over. That is what my people, the Cyclops bound for the deep north, saw as they gazed at last of Casdal. Was that a page from long lost history? A possible future yet to come? Or plain, meaningless gibbering? None knew for their past millennium. Until they came, and fate's rapids begin to narrow into a surer course. And now, the fate she saw has drawn before our eyes. Hey, bud. Time for a bedtime story. Puts Kelsey on screen. I don't care. As you even hear me out. Bright red blood creeps along his mask, trickling down his chest. Ascalon's eyes narrow at her hair. He's out of luck. You're about to die, so I gave you one last token of respect. Those prophecies never did gnaw at you, in all the time we knew each other. That's why you will never understand how a greedy soul thirsts to control his fate. Whose better last words? I know how you hurry to convene with those Babel members, but it's not yet time for you to leave. Look, the catastrophe is near. Funny, I'm curious now. What was it you found within the storm? Step aside. No commission left unfinished. The rule I set myself back when I was at the Scar Market. Alive or... Dawn-like mist is wound about the Cyclops' neck as Ascalon vanishes behind him, leaving his body to dangle over the cliff's edge. You ever seen your own end, then? I don't care for prophecies. We have that in common. Fact is, none of us can outrun fate. Don't you want to struggle out of it? What makes you not? Why can you not? How can you not? Never forget, you have your place in the prophecies too. Whimpering, storming. A plaintive chant rings in their ears, an elegy aura to the horizon from the convalescence of the banshees, sucked into the storm's eye. Ascalon gives an involuntary shudder. She is ice cold from head to toe. An indescribable pain rips from behind her ears, down to the soles of her feet. This nameless elegy, this ill omen. Babel, Hasdal. Single sigh reaches Ascalon. Her hand tightens fast, until not even the faintest sound will leave Scar Eye's throat again. And then she lets go. Damned fate. In a blink, the tremendous figure of the Cyclops becomes no more than a speck below the overhang. The mist scatters to the storm. The shadow of a hood goes with it. All vanishes within the teardrops falling from the cliff. Gasps, rolls of thunder from catastrophe clouds, whistles as the sand is swept across the barrens. The sound of everything culminates in silence. Londinium, Victoria. Now, lift your heads, sarcasm of hers. If you would still see through the calling she bestowed you, here I stand. Come, step forth. You may avenge her. My name is stitched onto my clothes. Stitched by Her Highness Theresa's own hands. I can feel it faintly burning this moment, and I know what that means. The mission she assigned us is over. We will clash with you no more. Sarkas do not draw on each other before the invader. We pledge our loyalty to you, Regent. So long as you hold your zeal and earnestness for the Sarkas, we will trust you with our lives. Even though you nearly ruined all the plans we'd set up in Victoria? Should the military commission put us to death, we will be willing to die. As long as it could bring a better end. An end as she wished. A moment ago, you were the renegades in chief, all but ready to entomb our plans. How can I possibly believe? Manfred. As she wished, he said. Your name, Deathmonger. Julie. I will remember it, and I will hand you your final mission. Guards, assassins, mercenaries, survivors of this sea of bloodshed, one and all, you are to enter the mausoleum of kings. You are to render Victoria's iron heart as scrap. You are to ambush and wipe out every last steam knight. You let us take part in the Commission's core plan to enfeeble Londinium. Fred will take good care of you. There's no chance we leave that place alive, is there? You're welcome to fight for it. Very well. What's keeping you here? I'm just taking it in. I'm looking at the one who fostered Ascalon. She never rid herself of you. I swore to follow Her Highness Teresa, with no inkling on the tale of the mixed blood twins. Rewriters of Casdell's history would end this way. Let alone that this disposable life of mine had a place in it. Farewell, Your Highness Teresa's. I take my hatred of you to the grave. At least we know when the Steam Knights got attacked from this. Ah, yes. It's Island of Babel, Casdell. So this is set in the past then. Keep going, Kelsey. Ever since the day she was born, has this corridor felt so endlessly long to Kelsey. Stop. Damn. Do not bury us. Casdell's soil cannot hold any more traitors. Finish him. I know that, even left on your own, your step will never falter. Lamia! Doctor! System unresponsive. This is... Monster. Cut the door down. Monster, not down. You believe loneliness is yours alone, that you have none of the same kind. Yet from the day you woke again, we've walked shoulder to shoulder, haven't we? Immortal empires turn to dust, elders' scepters rent in two under ancients' rallying cries. Pulses over the sky like a surge, the immutable rhythm of the stars, from resplendent glimmer to dull collapse. Death, rebirth, the all-encompassing cycle, she's ever so familiar with it. Teresa. Yet still, one day I'll choose to slow down, to stop in place where I am. When I do, Cassie, don't grieve, keep going. Cassie subconsciously searches her memories. Death, rebirth, the all-encompassing cycle. No, it's not the same this time, not quite. For the first time, she must bid, to the first who could ever converse with her as an equal, to her dearest friend, farewell. Teresa. So Kelsey, it's time to say goodbye. Mia. Doctor. What? This background. Oh, it's great. I can't really see right now. But damn. It's a Doctor, Amia, and Teresa, eh? I'll always say one day, our wandering is bound to end. One day, Sarkaz's wandering is bound to end. Now your wandering, too, has reached its end point. I knew full well this possibly always existed. Why? Should have stayed behind. It's my... Because I believe in Rhodes Island. I believe in Babel. I believe in you. I see. I hope the roads can be a place you named home, an island you may always return to. I did everything I could do. I won't harbor complaint for my own end. Babel's mission is concluded, while you and this landship have only set sail. I am not the same kind as you, Cassie. I cannot explain away your puzzlement, but I have always been your companion. Then, now and after. I will always be with you all. I don't even know Teresa's audio. At least I don't remember it. So, ooh, that's an intro, eh? Story. They moved the story button here, eh? Okay. "64 years ago, autumn 10:30. Hey, Andrea. Enjoy and suffer? Yeah, okay. It's 6 months ago. Scar Market, Castle. Take this tag around your neck with your life! You're my precious property, slave! You understand? You better be worth something. Stay here and don't move. You inspect the goods? Slave trader casts a glance at the silent slave behind the mercenary's back, then silently shakes his head. Where'd you get it? Found him on my way here, dying of thirst and about to come Bangladesh chow. Thought he could fetch a good price. I come from Castle. I can find someone who... Doesn't matter to us where you're from, slave. Say you're from Higashinis for all we care, as long as someone buys you out. I'm just checking if you got a tail. You never know where these mercs get their goods. I promise you he's clean. You better not be messing with me. Cash or barter. Ain't gonna live long enough for money to mean some. Give me some good weapons. You're the boss. He's second rate at best. I'll net you 2 blades, freshly cast. I'll let you take another look, with your eyes open this time. You can dress him up as first rate, but it won't change anything. You don't like our offer? Feel free to get lost. And put that machete of yours away. Is this the Scar Market you're in? Can you throw in more? I was out on the Lithuanian border before I got back. I've got first-hand intel about the whole war in the core. Oh, here's something for nothing. Careful what you spew out of that mouth if you want to stay alive here. Mouthing around you have valuable first-hand intel. Oh, I get the nuance here. Mouthing around you have valuable first-hand intel. You want to guess where that'll get you? Leave the goods and scram. You're holding up the line. Not happy? Drown your sorrows in the bar. Our boss Sky brews one heck of a drink. Doesn't matter if you can't pay your term. Don't take your weapons, collateral, Merc. One more thing. Where do you run your bounty board? I'm here to strike it rich. The bar folk will be happy to inform you. The Merc stares at this floating hub, hidden away in the giant subterranean hollow beneath Castor. Amidst the moans of the slaves, the faint yet constant rumble of lava and bursts of iridium dust can be heard rising from beneath the market. The rugged path behind him, The mercenary recalls the perils he faced to reach here from the surface and shudders. How many people are there in that goddamn chasm? Enough to break your fall if you jumped. Welcome to the Scar Market, Greenhorn. You'll love it here. What's the deal over there? Why the crowd? Probably another big name just rolled back into town. Aren't you here to strike it rich? Go on then. I'd rather keep my horns out of all that mess. The merc vaguely makes out a pale white figure, flitting through the chaotic gloom of the street. White clothes? You don't see that every day in Castle. You're injured. Tell me something I don't know. The last time I was here, it was someone else handling transactions. Yes. You're referring to my grandfather. He never stopped bragging about how he'd fought you and lived. I'm surprised you'd remember him. In a good sense, though. That means he wasn't lying all this time. It must have been 60 years ago by now. General Teresa's. Already. How sad that nothing here has changed at all. I imagine with Her Highness here too, there'll be no more violence this time, eh? Even if things get bloody, eventually you'll leave, but we'll always be here, General. We'll always have business, so long as Casdal's unrest never rests. Even now, I remember one thing my grandpa mentioned in his boasts. He said to you, it's the land of the Casdal that needs us. Teresus looks at the slaves, their heads down in the cages. He draws his sword. War and turmoil have necessitated this trade for over a century. This Scar Market. General, provided you can reach the surface alive, take a fresh look at Casdal. Much of what you know will soon change. All Sarkas will be part of this change. All? Us too? Yes, I'm not inclined to explain our vision to the likes of you, but I will stay here a while longer and wait for a return. Until then, I welcome you mercenaries to challenge me, just as 60 years ago. I'll take you to Casdal, willingly or otherwise. His voice isn't loud, but every Sarkas present hangs onto his every word. The mixed blood Sarkas stands alone. No retinue, no army, armed only with an ordinary looking longsword, casually held in the hand that wields it. His steely gaze pierces through the dim of the street, settling calmly in the direction of the uncosmic transport. Silas, what's up, bud? How you doing? You can dismiss the mercenaries in ambush. No doubt they're your most trusted men. This is out of respect for the King of Sarkas. None aside from the General can claim to know your true motives, after all. Your Highness, do you truly believe this can change the fate of the Sarkas? They are not just another ill-fated hero caught in this cycle of hope and failure. Once the dust settles, your answer will come naturally. Following that Pyrrhic victory, we built on Zero a moving city, the great nomad of Sarkas soil for over a century now. We can evade catastrophes and foreign armies. Our development has finally reached a point of basic self-sufficiency, but it's so far from enough. A storm has long been brewing in the horizon, but we were too oblivious, like a burdened beast too slow to react, too old to move. Your Highness must be referring to that war between Lithania and Gaul. Surely you, too, are aware of the magnitude of that war. Corsica, I even secretly hired our royal court casters as his consultants, but despite a period of seclusion, Lithanian's witch king thwarted Gaul's offences with his opening move. And now, Ursus and Victoria have also declared war on Gaul. These present empires display a might so far removed from the enemy 130 years ago, against which we staked all Casdal just to barely prevail. That was already a victory in name only. If Kasdal must now be thrust onto the same situation, how could it possibly end? It is for this sake that you wish to establish the military commission of Kasdal. Yet the old aristocrats of the royal court grow resentful, refusing to relinquish their sumptuous city lives, and viewing this as an attempt to challenge their privileges. A century of peace is enough for certain memories to slip their minds. So what made you deign to come here in person? Did you see the Scar Market as the royal court for the bottom feeders, where the likes of us skate by and make merry? My only hope is for more Sarkas to join us, and resist the voices that refuse to embrace change. Resist? Perhaps your highness meant terrorize and purge. What I want is a reform, not a slaughter. So what's the reward? Scar Market's not a real royal court. What we have with the mercenaries is partnership, not fealty. Without compensation, no one will work for us. Reward? Are the spoils of war not enough? Are the riches, power, or food that should have gone to the hungry people enough to sate your appetite? You claim to provide shelter and a livelihood for countless Sarkas warriors with your rhetoric of justice. Yet I almost hear the bones crunch as you squeeze them dry for profit. Sorry, but in this business, we eat people whole and chew down their bones. Skare, you too are Sarkas. You too are part of Kasdal. While Teresa cannot see what his expression lies behind Skare's mask, his emotions are clear as day before a pitch-black crown. No commoner in Kasdal will ever defy the royal court. But in his emotions, all Teresa sees is fervor and bloodlust. You won't refuse. Why would I? Do you think I'm scared they'll take revenge on me? The royal court's no mystery to me. Your highness knows that plenty well. And let me say, you've promised me, no doubt, the best reward I could ask for. We thrive on chaos, and I can see the level of chaos you will bring upon Kasdal. The fact that you've kept the name Scar tells me that your ideas haven't changed. Like you said, the nations of Terra have grown tremendously in power over the last century. We could throw more remnants into the soul furnace and stoke its flames, but it will not close the gap. So I force the people, who aren't really of the same race, to band together, call themselves Sarkas, and build a giant target called Kasdal. Between the four superpowers has proven that other Terra nations can accept our existence as mercenaries, and that's where Scar Market comes in. And your highness surely knows that we've become a community, a town, because many of us could never fit into the elitist, bloodline-obsessed royal court. In all these years, I may have helped just as many Sarkas find a new way of life as the 6 heroes, if not even more. And I'm not the least bit shamed to say it, your highness king of Sarkas. Teresa doesn't reply. All she offers is a faint smile at Cyclops. Suddenly occurs to Sky that this king of Sarkas belongs to no royal court and represents no bloodline. Her sole aim is to persuade the Sarkas, who are unwilling to believe that Kasdal can be built, some of whom have even committed crimes for this cause, to believe once more. But is she enough to break free from the cycle of tragic failures, from the ending he foresaw? Come to think of it, there's one thing I don't get, your highness. I might have agreed to help you. But why didn't you and General Teresa simply burn this place to the ground before the day's end? I would have little chance of winning if you decided to do so. Like you did 60 years ago. A minute ago, you described Kasdal as nothing but a target, and that you want another way for the Sarkas to live, one that would have them depend on other nations. Yes. So tell me, in your prophetic visions, have you seen Kasdal's destruction? Have you seen my death, Teresa's death, and the destruction of all that you stand against? And what about yourself? How do you behold your death? A slow and agonizing death by apathy, slain in battle on foreign soil, or drowned in a sea of plots and conspiracies?
Have you ever left this place and seen Castle as it is now? Have you ever truly seen the future?
Is this your way of asking for a prophecy? I don't give handouts. For your highness, I'll consider a discount.
Such nerve. No wonder you're able to claw your way out of this bleakness and rebuild this mercenary's paradise. But I'll pass on the prophecy. Prophecies and fate have no value. It's getting late. I look forward to your return to Gazdel.
He watches her go and heaves a long sigh, only when even her footsteps fall from earshot. Son of a bitch. Foresight? Prophecies? His own death? He bought his coffin this very morning. Tally up the losses. Boss, the slaves. Set them free. They're bound to get tangled up in the scar market after the war begins anyway. At most we lose out on pocket change. Did anyone take on General 3 Assistance 5? Yes, I've noted them all down. Take them to supplies for a little reward. They've got real balls. When you're done, take them to the bar entrance and kill them all in front of everyone. Send their heads to General 3 as an apology. Got it. Send their rewards to whatever family and friends they have as bereavement. Tell every merc looking to make a living in the scar market. I don't want to see anyone trying funny shit on my turf. He heads alone to the bar, the tags on his cloak jangling in his steps. He stands prominently in the crowd, watching as the blades take the light from the mercenary's eyes. Still, no one fights back. Utter disappointment. Drinks are in the house tonight, both to celebrate the two highnesses sparing your lives. And to celebrate the huge gig you've all just landed. Your objective is in Castle. Get your shit ready. Soon you're all gonna be in the city. Secret entrance of Scar Market, Castle. You've been quiet for some time now, Teresa. Are you hesitating?
I have confidence in you. A reshuffle of the War Council is inevitable. It's just... I've been thinking about the city's future. War won't stop itself at goal. Our pace has fallen too far behind. Corsica 1 commands an indomitable fleet of dreadnoughts and guard battalions. The Mad King of Lithuanian has more than his arts and his arsenal to affect Gaul's failure. The industrial might of both Ursus and Victoria, in the throes of a larger scale war, has far surpassed our imaginations.
Many assume to know war like the back of their hands, simply by living long enough through it. If our concept of war still lingers in the dreaded battle from a century ago, then we have drastically underestimated how quickly wars can nourish empires and fuel dictatorships. This is exactly why we need a military commission.
It's more than that, Teresa's.
I know.
When the day comes, when the Sarkas wish to live on, if a brittle, creaking city is all they have to call their own, it'll be far from enough. Do you remember the idea I proposed, back when Kelsey was designing cities blueprints with us?
Babel.
To transcend the borders of race and nation, to echo far and wide in our ideals, in our epics.
Hello player Angimek, welcome to the stream. We're just reading, so I won't be able to respond to chat too much while we're in story. Founded by a Sarkas.
We will prepare Casdel for the coming crisis, strive to eradicate the poverty and disease that have plagued them for millennia, and send a message to all of Terra. There will come a future when we will all stand as one. The Sarkas too are part of that Terra's destiny.
This is not the first Teresa has heard of her idea. Apart from the dame who left after helping build the nomadic city of Casdel many years ago, he alone knows the true belief of the current king of Sarkas. Kazdor won't accept this battle. You and I both know that well. It's but a dream of attempting to subvert reality.
Yes, for now, at least. We can't be talking of such grand ideals, while even our own affairs are slipping away from us. It's my hope this battle can become a part of Kazdor, Theresis.
Are you prepared then? Did I get the spoiler though? I don't think so. Oh, unless you're talking about the battle, as in the fights on BB 9 and 10, because I've seen thumbnails of it, so I know we have to eventually fight. Yeah. I don't know why. As I said before, it's not just their other nations that will oppose you. Kazdor and the other Sark, and the Sark has clinging to their hatred, will also stand against you. It is cruel to force them to forgive and forget. The persecution of the Sarkaz is not history. The ancient hatred is what drives many to survive until this day.
I am the king of Sarkaz. The responsibility is all mine to bear. I must show them a way out of this.
I see. Then go. Do what you will.
Teresa,
I still do not approve of your vision, but I do support your decision, and the future military commission will, too. If your gaze is set too far to see what lies up before you, then I shall sweep away all that obstructs you at the moment, just as always.
I know.
Hi Min, welcome to the stream. Come, let's go home. Kazdor still needs us for what's about to happen.
Oh, yes. Sakarai mentioned the prophecy again as I was leaving. The signs of a pessimistic fate.
And your reaction?
I don't care.
Agreed.
Kazdor, a strange yet familiar name. Many from this great land see it as the pit from which devils crawl, a terrible place to be avoided at all costs. To the Sarkaz, the name only evokes equally conflicted emotions. Despite generations of Sarkaz passing on that Kazdor is a Sarkaz's homeland, an outsider might wonder if they mean the city or the entirety of those lands.
Only they themselves know. It struck me on my way out just how high this wall is. Oh, at least I can go home alive now. That means I'm pretty lucky. The man in the cigar market. That was General Theresis, the first of the city's founders, the hero of that legendary campaign. If I had the courage to ask him and take me in, maybe I could have just... dreaming again. He sits atop the high wall, experiencing for the first time a new lease on life. Few of Kazdor's civilian Sarkaz, save for those children who haven't yet cottoned onto the fear of death, ever climb onto the city wall. If the tremendous pipes and tubes piled high can even be called a wall, the intricately tangled forest of Iridium spikes can take the lives of anyone who loses their footing, but it also serves as a haven for pilferers and mercenaries to stash their goods. Smugglers and vagrants cross through the dark underground, peeking out from tunnels and drains at mines and factories, scuttling from one corner of the city to another. The life of the slave once new. General gave me a fresh start, so what should I do from now on? He gazes at the furnace, burning and smouldering far away, teeming with indiscernible workers as they carry iridium, steel, dirt, and stones into its hearth. To Kazdor the Nomad, its flames bring motion, while the molten metal that flows out adds a new appendage to the city. For a whole century, it's belched its incessant black smoke. None know whether it's ash or iridium dust. Some say it's the bitter anger, anguish of the revenants exhale as the revenants exhale their last breaths. Witchcraft altars hang high in the sky, intermittently flashing their blinding rays. The slave has heard many different versions of their urban legend.
The most frightening version claims that the royal court's casters work day and night on the altars, watching everything and listening to every conversation in the city. Maybe I could try my luck at the factories too. It doesn't matter what else. I've made it back alive. It's been months since I left. I don't know how many of my friends are still alive.
Kind of bothering, but the temptation is strong, but really the story is a roller coaster of emotion. I heard the story this time was good, so that's why I decided to read it this time. Usually I don't read event stories because I'm too caught up in trying to clear the event itself, but yeah.
The magic city of Castor. What happened here? Why are all the doors open and the furniture all smashed? Pull top, you're back! It's you. What are you doing here? Where'd you get that ornament? Something big is happening. Royal court nobles are being dragged out of their houses and killed by mercenaries appearing from nowhere, while the city guards do nothing. A lot of us have been sneaking into empty houses, and boy, have we dredged up some good stuff. How are you still alive though? Word got out you wanted to leave the city and find your own way. After so long we all assumed you died out there. You wouldn't believe my luck. First I was left to die without food or water, and I was taken to the Scar Market. But guess what? General Teresa saved my life. The general himself. The other way home I ran into this guy with a halo over his head, calling himself a messenger, and he brought me all the way back to the city wall. So I've decided to change my name to Good Luck starting today. You guys can forget that lousy old name of mine. Hey, with a halo? Sancta. And then the general? Sure learned how to lie. Good luck. So ranking of how long some stories are in Arknights. This event isn't that high. It's near the end out of 10. Near the end out of 10. Okay. Leave me or don't. But either way, today's a fresh new start for me. I'm gonna go be a miner. I looted a Naxxra's house earlier, found some hot air balloons. Wanna launch me in one and put that luck of yours to good use? I'm in. That was fast. And it feels good to be home. Yeah, that's why I laughed. It still means very long. Good Luck glances around the people swarming on the street. This is the life he knows. If he wants to survive, the city will always offer him a way. Thank you, Fate. Thank you, General.
I've only gone through the prologue and the first part of the of the first map. It's already 43 minutes in. From 10:31. The magic city of Castor. Hey, let me through already. No shoving. You want a good spot? I'll trade you mine for some high purity originating out of the mines. Such a win. After this one. Then just grab the leaflet out of my hands. Ugh, that blood all over you stinks. Can't help it when you're breaking into dead people's houses. Lingoness. That's how you read that word, right? Where's Lingoness? Gaul. Oh, where's Gaul? How the fuck should I know where Gaul is? Hey, what's with the attitude? Highnesses and the royal court big shots are discussing something in the chamber. Heard it's about reorganizing the city. Haven't you noticed all the extra guards on the street recently? So quiet down a bit. Weather's been real stuffy today. It's decided. The military commission will replace the war council in assisting the king of Sarkaz Teresa in decision making related to Castor military and political affairs. The military commission will be the sole administration of Castor. and none will have the authority to issue commands to the Sarkaz in the Royal Court's name. All present have already received the details of this resolution. To the Royal Court leaders who still wish to cling onto the War Council, know that the Military Commission of Kazdal will become the final bastion of the Sarkaz, our eternal fortress, and the usher of new order.
Are there any further questions? Your Highness appears more haggard than you did yesterday. Please, look after your health. No military commission is worth it, if it comes at the cost of your Highness's health. Lakura Melin, thank you. I know how hard you have worked for this day. I also know how Kazdal today views the banshees of the Convalides. Before I stayed our position, I encountered a lost envoy of the Liches on my journey here. He entrusted me with a letter to your Highness. That he couldn't even find the road here. Let this be proof of the immense changes Kazdal has undergone. A letter from Lathenian. If things are going out as expected, your Highness's messenger would still not have received any news from the Cyclops. Rather than waiting for the response so deep in the blizzard, shall we not hear how the Liches of Lathenian answer? You're right. It has been a very long time since the Sarkaz were able to truly unite. Well, the ornate calligraphy upon the letter turns into silken threads that float above the paper and weave into the shape of a familiar figure. You know, it would be nice if I didn't have to read this letter too, but that's just not how it works. Vermont, a lich has long resided in Lathenian. It appears that he is now the first scribe for the Liches. It seems that arts practiced by the Liches of Lathenian have seen some stylistic changes. No, he appears rather excited. Why is there only image, but no sound? Well, the Lich Envoy did suggest to me that he was rather vexed with refining his master's words, but never did I imagine they would simply erase all the sound. In short, Fremont apologizes on behalf of the Liches. They are enthralled as ever by their quest for knowledge, and are therefore unable to afford the distraction of making the long journey here. But if Kazdal were ever in need of their knowledge, they would happily throw wide their gates for their temple for the people they have chosen. I am sure that with your abilities, your Highness can understand Fremont's attitude on the matter from this image alone. To me, it appears as though he is sensitive to drastic change, as has always been his wont.
The hell, they gave a silent letter anyway?
Ah, yes. There is another letter from Vermont, one addressed directly to the General.
Let me remind you, Akira Malin, that you are nobody's messenger. You have not yet expressed whether the Banshee Court stands.
I assumed that we had reached an understanding in the course of our reminiscing yesterday. The Banshees will not participate. We are still recovering from the wounds inflicted by the past war. Perhaps other Sarkaz will castigate us for this, but all present should know that since the war, the elegies have yet to cease in our valley. We have suffered grievous losses. If Kazdal calls on the aid of the Banshees once more, then I will give the same promises from Fremont. The Banshees will be there. But until that day, you will find us willing to be, but unable. Naturally, I myself will render what little assistance I am able to give from this day onwards. That's more than we could ask for. Thank you, Akira Malin. You are welcome, Your Highness. You know where I stand. For the past 100 years, I've always stood by the decisions you have made. I can only hope that your brother does not blame us for watching from the sidelines.
Still reading.
Next, Lord Nesalim, the Naxara King. You were once the leader of the War Council and the mentor of Thracis and I. What is your opinion on these many proposals? Where do the other council members that you represent stand on the matter? Have you discussed them with the Damatsi cluster? They have long since taken root in Kazdal, under many different names and faces. We have had many conversations over the years, and they have no objections. Then I have no objections of my own. Your Highness need not worry about the bureaucratic hurdles, policy imperfections, or enforcement mechanisms. Where I stand is also where other members of the council stand. We all know what we truly long for: a turnabout, a change, a banner. Her, do as you will. We will, Axar King. I promise you that. I trust that this stagnant and dulled war can take on a new form in your hands. I notice you have not said a word this entire meeting. Sanguinarch of vampires. Take the War Council and the century of history behind it, and sweep it into the gutter alongside the exalted heroic age and what little triumphs within. Is that the General's decision? It is our decision. Speak your mind, Dokorel. Dokorel lowers his gaze. Teresa's white skirt is mottled with many a blackened bloodstain. Sanguinarch is highly attuned to such matters. He senses the blood of the lowly, the foul stench of fallen descendants, and the murky taint of royal court members who willingly debase themselves. I thank your Highness for purifying the filthy blood that I so abhor in my stead. But never have I needed to hide my requests behind honeyed words, such as it has been for every king of the past, and so it will be for you. The military commission is merely an attempt to hide Sarkaz's witchcraft and blood behind a more modern, more efficient name. Truth be told, I feel like this is insignificant. More than insignificant, it is simply not necessary. You reject the proposal. On behalf of the Vampire Court, Dokorel glances at Teresis, but Teresis remains indifferent to him. Time has left almost no trace on the mixed blood Sarkaz. He stands steadfast by Teresa's side, the same nameless warrior who stood by the seamstress a century ago. His eyes never fall on the vampire. Not a rejection, no. I am merely expressing some minor frustrations about this meeting. You are great and powerful, all of you are. How long has it been since so many members of the royal court have gathered here in Kazdal? Not to mention that it was you who defeated that foolish coalition in the prior age and wrestled the future into your own hands before personally establishing the War Council. And now you wish to personally change this council? Why? Think about you and at the other dignitaries in this chamber. You have long reached a consensus. The only obstacle to your military commission is myself and the vampires. You would foist some ridiculous title upon me before forcing all vampires to bow down to your commission. When did you learn this political trickery that those Victorians or Lithanians so love? Why not just take my head here and now and slaughter the vampires within this city's walls? This meeting was not convened to persecute anyone. Was it not? It was convened to discuss how to bring Kazdal to a new age. A new age. There's that so-called Age of the Six Heroes the songs love to praise. What I saw was bloodthirst and violence. I had thought that when I arrived in Kazdal, I would be greeted with the sound of Phyllis's wailing. What did I see instead? I saw the coalition routed, witchcraft enough to cover the land and fill the skies, crush the enemy front. The power of the Sarkaz shook the earth. I felt amazement. I felt excitement. Spurred by my passion, I took the head of the Lithanian envoy, who had orchestrated the coalition, and offered it to the War Council. Nesalem! That war was the true beginning of a new age. I thought you would agree with me. Have you too succumbed to the schemes and politics, and shut your ears to the echoes of the Abyss? The Abyss has no place for you, Dokorel. Do not drag me into your tantrum. Ah, my apologies. But I'm curious. What position did they offer the esteemed Sarkaz Master of Wary, or in the military commission that has rendered even you so short-sighted? All I await is the next war. And what war would that be? If it pleases you, Your Highness. Come, Tokurel. I will show you. Teresa nods her head in silent approval. The King of Sarkaz's emotions envelop the entire chamber and all the members of the royal court. Through the king's eyes, they see ruination and grief. They see the century-old order that the Gaulish Empire so painstakingly maintained within the core region, obliterated by the combined forces of Ursus, Victoria, Lithuania. They see Lingones, the capital of the world, doomed to never again appear on the map of terror. Those present recall the campaign that reduced Kasdal to dust. But it is not yet over. An even further future, an even further fantasy, an even further possibility. It is no longer a story to reflect upon. Rather, it is a speculation, a deduction, a prediction, and a verdict. But none question it, for all possibilities must be treated equally, even for the one they see. And its ending is equally significant and indisputable as any other. It is a change, a turning point in history, a divergence of fate. A crucial war looms on the horizon. It will span from now into the distant future, impacting every Sarkaz and all of Terra. All present has seen their positions in that war. The roles that they wish to play. You should understand now, Vampire. You should understand what these visions mean. Or perhaps you have begun to grow weak and feeble, as ill as, in the short span of 100 years, you were once a warrior. I cannot deny that. But are you saying that a new and reborn Kasdal requires the royal court to relinquish its former authority? Close, but not quite. The new Kasdal will no longer require the royal court's former authority. It will be more modern, more efficient, Tokurel. How can the Sarkaz speak of unity, while you continue to indulge in your noble bloodlines? Will it come from the rule of the royal court? You may still rule over your own court, and maintain the power and prestige you hold among the Sarkaz, but the vampire court must yield to the military commission. I promise you this, in Teresa's name. When the age that you witnessed comes, Kasdal will no longer be a single dot upon the map. It was once more than just a city, and so it shall be more again. Seems I have spoken out of turn. Please, continue, Your Highness Teresa. The aftermath of the ongoing conflict, enough to reshape current power dynamics, will engulf us all. It may come in 50 years, in 10, or perhaps even tomorrow. Kasdal cannot escape it. The Damati and I both saw the visions of the campaign that will destroy Lingones. High-efficiency command systems made possible by original arts, high-speed battleships that can break through the front lines, maneuver tactics that can mobilize entire legions. New advancements are applied to the battlefield as we speak. Their capacity for destruction is surpassing our innate instinct rooted in our bloodlines.
What worries me more is the fact that we still find fellow Sarkaz among the countless casualties of war. Gaul employed royal court custers, and Lich's and Lithuanian are killing each other in battle, while a certain Wendigo is spilling the blood of his fellow Sarkaz to prove his loyalty to the Ursine Tsar. As for the Sarkaz mercenaries sent to the front lines as arts fodder, they won't even be counted in any nation's casualty statistics. The Sarkaz massacre one another in wars they have no stake in, regarded as disposable goods to be abandoned without care by the leaders of those wars. For the sake of keeping pace with these changes, Sarkaz must once again gather around the furnace, and if necessary, the power to dominate the war must lie in our hands. Teresa looks to Teresa, waiting for her opinion. But Teresa does not speak, her eyes placid as before. We will plunder the other nations, and wrest their most profound secrets from them. We were once the proud Tikas, forced to become the Sarkas and derided as devils. Because the Outlanders feared us, it is our ancient fear rooted deep in their hearts. Let us remind them. Let us show all of the terror, our history and legend that have been either forgotten or falsified. The Sarkas are not weak. We do not need others to save us from our fate. On the contrary, we will dictate the fate of terror, dictate how this land should move forward. The details of our plan have been delivered to all present through the runic arts of the Banshees. The Coral. Do you still hold out?
No. Exceptional work, Theresis. Set aside a seat on the military commission for the Crimson Court. It appears that our Naxara king has not yet grown adult with age, but as to whether or not he could usher such a grand feast.
Warriors need not die in a blaze of glory. That is a vulgarity only chased by those who seek fame.
Oh, I nearly forgot you were still there.
Lacquermany.
I have made myself abundantly clear from the start, Prince Ducarel. I need only silently observe your enthusiastic attempts at self-expression. How pitiful it is to look upon such a shabby little court.
I will cherish your elegies.
Then this I promise you. When death comes for you, the Lord of the Banshees will sing you an elegy, delivered to you by night wind.
Set aside your chatter for another time. Seems their highnesses still have matters to discuss. The other members of the War Council will wish to know their decisions. Ducarel, Lacquermany, and you, Damanti, disguised outside the door, with me. The Naxara king nods his head towards Teresa. The other two members of the royal court do not bid the king farewell. They simply follow the Naxara king out of the chamber. After the meeting's end, Teresa stays by Teresa's side. Standing silently. He knows that she will be expecting an answer from him. You never mentioned that you would announce the plans for war to the royal court. You did not refute me either.
Would I have been able to refute anything?
You are well aware of what I think. If you wanted to argue against any of it, you would have done so a few years ago. For now I have them by the reins. But it's not just them. This entire city hungers for war.
I will prevent matters from heading down the worst possible path, lest the prospects of terror's continued existence become infinitesimally small.
You must be quick about it.
I will. What does Fremont's letter say?
As Theresis opens the envelope, the writing vanishes before his eyes. Yet the message has already etched itself indelibly into his mind. He has surmised what would transpire during the meeting rather accurately. He has given his opinion on some matters, alongside a reminder. Do not place all your coming hopes into one basket.
The nomadic city of Kazdal.
You with that babble? Don't count on the military commission to look after you all.
We're here to help you.
Help us? My parents died at the hands of you Lithenians. You got some nerve. What, not scared of me?
We knew what to expect when we came here. Just needs some getting used to. Besides, our captain warned us not to agitate the locals.
You looking down on me?
Eh?
The hell is this? Let me go!
Do not harm him, but do make him leave. Dr. Kelsey. I said not to deviate from our planned route, even if it is to treat the wounded along the way. Sorry, Dr. Kelsey. No matter, you handled it well. We've reached our destination. Welcome to Babel.
Babel office, Kazdal.
Did you manage to retrieve all our strange colleagues? Yes, all is well with them. The construction of Babel's facilities is proceeding smoothly. The school that you were so looking forward to is already complete. Yet I hear that the unbeatable Dr. Kelsey had not too long ago been turned down, perhaps even kicked out. I do not foresee such a direct refusal. I'm not surprised at all, to be honest. To many Sarkas, the invitation of the king is barely worth the paper it's printed on. On the other hand, our connections with Sargon and Rembiliton have delivered good news. As for Columbia, some scientists have proposed a technology exchange program. They have their eyes on the ancient Sarkas witchcraft, while we have need of their latest mobile farms. It took us a century's efforts to share an equal dialogue with these powers. The results speak for themselves. You're creating new history, Teresa. Thank you, Kelsey. But I can tell you've had a lot on your mind recently. The military commission has been formally established. Babel's existence will spark yet another near irreconcilable conflict in Kasdal. Our staff comes from different races and nations. How should they live alongside the Sarkas? If your efforts to smooth enmity and prejudice instead become a fuse to spark conflict in you, what does your highness plan to do? If we cannot even eliminate prejudice and hatred within the walls of Kasdal, how can Babel hope to achieve equality for the Sarkas throughout all of Terra? There will be members of the military commission posted to Babel soon. They will ensure the safety of our people. This will also serve as a warning to some. Babel is backed by both Teresa's and me. Alright, did I ever tell you how I met a Sancta messenger, Castle? Strange. The Sancta do not generally dare to approach the borders of Kasdal. Was this why your highness disappeared this afternoon? Was it that obvious? I thought Lacromeline had me covered. The Lord of the Banshees clearly tried, but judging from the results, she isn't the best pick for clerical work. Well, what of that Sancta messenger? He was getting water from the river when we struck up a conversation. We chatted about many things: history, peace, hatred. Our viewpoints did not align with most things, but I could sense in him wisdom and intelligence beyond his years. He had thoughts concealed within his heart, ones even he did not know of. And so, he used the power of the King of Sarkas on a Sancta. I simply wished to know what his fated encounter meant. And what did it mean? Still hard to say. Still, while I was looking at his soul, I felt that, perhaps, we are not alone, Kelsey. Many on this land are doing all they can to pursue hope. Hopes big and small, hopes bright and beautiful.
Soon. Gacha soon. After this chapter.
Ugh. These people nuts or something? Just wanted to get a few nice things for myself.
Never even heard of any Babel. He steadies himself against the wall, gasping for air as his vision begins to blur. Fatigue floods his limbs, weighing him down. Through his blurred vision, he sees another in front of him fall to the crazed attacker's blades. He knows he will be next. He used to die here. It's you or me, bastards! Out of the way! He uses the last of his strength to barrel his way out, but the only resistance he meets is solid ground. All he sees is black. Are you alright? Were you trying to save me just now? There's so much blood. Why does it feel like I'm the one saving you? Hold on, I'll bring you to Babel. Our doctors there can help you. I'm still alive. Who would have thought that those lunatics would decide to attack the innocent bystanders in broad daylight to get at Babel? I don't know how the others are faring. Hey! Stay with me! I still don't know your name. Good luck. Huh? For the first time, he regrets giving himself this name. Gotcha time, let's go. But before that, because I have some currency, I might as well buy out the tickets here too, right? Just in case, right? Right? Wait, I'm not going to the base. Ascalon, go. Go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, double. Whoa, let's go.
あなたがドクターですわね。
Okay.
お初にお目にかかりますわ。そしてどうかお礼を言わせてくださいませ。この醜悪な大地の上で束の間の居場所をわらわに与えてくださってありがとうございます。
I don't know. Don't look at me. I didn't decide this.
遠距離射撃が得意だ。修行中であれば。
こんちはドクター。私は宴。オペレーターにはまだ成り立てほやほやだけどね。
プリムと申します。以前はラテラーの護衛隊に所属しておりました。
I mentioned at the very start of the stream, but I'm not feeling the best shape today, so I might end the stream earlier than usual, but I definitely wanted to start on the story today at least.
僕はグレイと言います。
Because we have a lot to go
電気
through.
関係のお仕事が。
アスカロン。
Hell yeah, let's fucking go!
本名としてでもコードネームとしてでも好きに書いておけばいい。だが私のプロファイルを書き足すつもりならケルシーに一声かけてからにしろ。
Let's fucking go! Let's go! Hacking. Let's fucking go! I didn't do anything. Tutorial level has no story, so we're going to the next one. This is single multi. Well, I guess no. "26 years ago, autumn 1068. Waterland, Lathanian. How do you like this place?" "Like an energetic child waking from slumber, rushing out the door to enjoy the fruits of life to the fullest." It was the Kurfürst who wrote it, inspired by His Holiness's visit to Wasserland, when he was still a messenger for Laterana. The young and enthusiastic future pontiff told the children about all that he has seen. The ocean that Iberia watches over, the city of Athenius, where Minoan myth and machination exist in equal measure, and a passing mention of Kasdal, the city of sin, the whereabouts of which are unknown. The Kurfürst was there, and he was fascinated by His Holiness's descriptions. First draft of this work was in fact written at that time, but the Kurfürst was not satisfied. Even after many years of revisions, a final draft is yet to be completed. Until recently, when our scouts located the elusive nomadic city of the devils and sent back photos. Gazing upon the enormous tracks left behind by the city, Kurfürst found the missing elements in the mosaic ferocity. With that, the work was complete. "You found Kastel?" "Yes." The Kurfürst was astonished to find that the destiny of the work was intertwined within the cities. I understand the reason the Kurfürst chose to present this piece on the eve of my visit to Laterano. However, unlike his predecessors, His Holiness has no intention of initiating offensive action against the Sarkaz. He is not interested in putting the sinless on trial without cause. I'm afraid I must disappoint the Kurfürst. The city itself is of no concern to the Kurfürst. He is far more interested in His Holiness's opinion of the piece. Please send His Holiness the Kurfürst's warmest regards.
We have a response from Syracuse. Only a few of the famigli have agreed to participate in the action. Their men will rendezvous with the fleet soon. I can't believe Laterano rejected us. We informed the Syracusans to move quickly. We must mop up the city before the other Christ can act. Take Casdal before the other Kurfürsten can. Do not repeat the mistake we made at Gaul and miss another opportunity. Car market, Casdal. I like Lithuanians. You always bring so much business. And it's smart that you disguise yourself as a prisoner in smuggling crew, rather than flying the banner of the messenger. Now tell me what you want, before I lose my patience. Trade, muscle fire, intel. Scar market is everything you need. Cooperation, esteemed leader. We don't have a fixed price for cooperation. Are you sure your Kurfürst can pay my price? Don't you want to know what we're asking for first? There's nothing that money cannot buy here, Caprone. What about Casdal? Go on. The Kurfürst wants you to sabotage the city's propulsion system, nothing else. Casdal's propulsion system? Oh. The down payment is the safe that you took from the caravan. Kurfürst will discuss the rest of the payment with you and Casdal. I admire your boldness. Let me express my good faith with a little glimpse into the future for you. The nomadic city of Casdal. Take your things and scram, Lithuanian. You trying to poison me? These are just suppressants. You'll need them on the battlefield. The warships that surround us come from Lithuanian. Outsiders like you must have led them here. I don't have an explanation. I know you're taking your son with you into battle. He could use the medicine. Keep your hands off my son. What's a commotion? Are you out of your mind? She's a Babel doctor. Are you okay? I'm fine. He wasn't really trying to hurt me. Good luck. You married a Babel woman, and now you've become a shill for the invaders? They'll be the death of you, I guarantee it. Many of us are also pained by the impending war. We've requested to join you on the front lines. Lunatics. Who knows what schemes you have on the front line? You'll get yours in the end. Give me the medicine. I'll distribute it. They're ready to leave. Go meet up with them. I'll take care of things here. Good luck. Your son. I didn't let him leave. If the Lithuanians want to force us into a catastrophe, it's safer for him to be on the lower level shelters in the city. Relax, Doctor. People have made it through catastrophes in the past. Maybe we'll have, good luck. What a name, what a name. Furnace has burned for more than a century. War, catastrophe, migration, exile. All of the suffering since the Tikaz era has not extinguished the hatred of the remnants. The Sarkas have seen many Kazdals through the ages. The memory of yesterday may be unrecognizable by tomorrow. But the Soul Furnace has been a constant for this generation of Sarkas. Home is where the Soul Furnace is. Kazdal. The furnace has not burned like this for many years. I can hear the cries of the remnants, even from here. Soon the city will charge headlong into a catastrophe. All we need to do is hold out until Nesalem's reinforcements arrive. Until Kazdal once again passes through the catastrophe.
They thought we would cower. They tried to assume our thoughts with their conception of common sense. It was so 170 years ago, and it is so now. Arrogant and laughable fools, who never took the time to truly understand us.
What fate do you think awaits this city, Theresis?
To be honest, the chances that it survives are slim. Kazdor was immobilized the last time it braved a catastrophe. It took us a decade just to get moving at full speed again. And the forests of crystals in the mines and on the walls could never be removed, ruining years of our plans for the city. I don't know if the city can survive another ordeal like that, much less one that's even worse. Good luck rarely comes twice.
I believe in this city, Teresis. Not because of luck, but because we built this city, and I won't give up on it.
The story of the city does not end here, Your Highness.
I may not be able to see its future clearly, but there is one thing I can say for sure.
The city continues to exist in the distant future.
No one can say, however, if it will be a sanctuary of hope or a ghost city of the dead.
Scarai, have you not grown tired of this ambiguous words of your kind? And need I remind you that no amount of mercenaries can ensure your safety in the city. There is no deceiving, Your Highness, of course.
Hostile doors are open to heavy sarcasm, but you'd better have a good reason to set foot in the city with your mercenaries at a time like this.
I was made an offer most difficult to refuse, which obliged me to enter the city to seek an audience. What is that you're carrying? This? Something insignificant. No, I mean someone. The Athenians wanted me to sabotage Castor. I have been away from my kin for many years. As your Highness said, Castor is the root of all sarcasm. So I felt I had to deliver this Lathani with my own hands in order to prove my innocence.
What are you thinking?
Exactly as I said. How can I possibly hide before the King of Sarkos? But if you're not interested in my gift of good faith, then I see no need to carry it with me anymore. It's heavy after all.
He casually casts the bag into the furnace, where it is incinerated in an instant, without a sound.
The furnace is always an impressive sight, no matter how many times someone sees it. Your Highness need not pity him. He should have seen the risks when he approached the Saigon market. I trust Lathania was not miserable with its terms. It's simple, Your Highness. Prefer immediate payment of empty promises. But more importantly, I don't work with the losing side. Are you predicting our victory? It wasn't I who saw it. It was the Cyclops who left the prophecy 1,000 years ago. I am simply betting that Your Highness are the protagonists of the prophecy. Regardless, the safest business for the Saga market is with Your Highness. It would keep business flowing for at least the next 50 years or so.
Is that not so, Your Highness?
You're clever. Prophecy doesn't bring victory, but we can. Bring your mercenaries. We're moving out.
Yeah, I thought that might happen. The crowd stirs. The Sarkaz procession leaving the city is quiet, except for the occasional clang of weapons and equipment. Their silence is rooted in the knowledge of the fate that awaited them beyond the city's gates. They wrap banners, torn from the walls around their waists, or clutch iridium spikes, chopped from the streets as makeshift weapons. Each has their own ritual to remember the city that they may never return to. Mom, Dad, where are you? Dad, Mom! People really need to watch their kids. They can't be allowed to run wild. Ouch.
Careful.
Thank you. Where did you come from? Why are you also leaving the city? You'll fall if you're not careful. I'm looking for my mom and dad. Are you going out too? Yes, I'm going to the battlefield. Are you looking for your mom and dad there too? Can I come with you? No, I'm busy. I'm by myself. Why are you going out then? Because I don't want to hide in the city. I want to fight the people who are doing bad things to us. That's what my parents told me before they left. I want to fight too, but mom and dad won't let me go. I tried to sneak out and got a beating when they found out. But I don't want to be away from mom and dad. We'll go together then and find your mom and dad. There'll be a lot of bad people out there. Are you scared? You're not scared. Mom and dad aren't scared. I'm not scared either. The disheveled child pumps his fist to show courage, but his trembling betrays him. The older child knows that the young boy does not fully understand what is happening outside the city. But the young boy knows that something simple but true. Bad guys should be chased away. Families should stay together. So he takes the boy's hand and joins the procession. How do we find your parents when we're out here? They work for Babel. They have a picture of a tower on their clothes. Babel. I know that place. Are you from Babel too? No, I grew up in a military commission institution. I guess I'm from the military commission. Military commission? What's that? A place that protects people, just like Babel. What's your dad's name? Let's squeeze our way to the front. Maybe they're up ahead. Good luck! Good luck? Yes, he's good luck. Why are you laughing? Nothing. Let's shout his name. Maybe he'll hear you. Two children squeeze forward in the procession, holding each other's hand and calling out good luck with their tiny voices. A few heads turn and sigh when they see young and naive faces. Good luck. It is what they all need. On an evening in the autumn of 1068, the music playing in the Kurfürst of Wesseland's study was interrupted by the sound of frantic knocking at the door. The fleet that was pursuing the nomadic city of Kasdal had broken off its pursuit. Those crazy devils charged straight into a catastrophe. It's only by sheer good luck that they got away. Years later, the Kurfürst of Wesseland still recounted the reason for this failure with palpable disdain. How tiny we seem when we stand beside the tracks of the ship. Yes, it's a most impressive war machine. With their bodies as barriers, the Naxara halted its advance at a tremendous cost. The Banshee's shrieks, powerful enough to shatter consciousness, only managed to force the Lothanians to retreat below deck. If not for the catastrophe and the rough terrain in this valley. We're so far behind, and time is running out. Kasdal must have equally powerful weapons, if not more so. All our previous attempts have failed. A century ago, few believed we could build a nomadic city out of Kasdal, yet we did. If we are to catch up to them now, we cannot afford to take the conventional path. We have word from the Demazi. The battleships on the horizon are slowing down.
Have they given up?
No, the Kurfürst's orders were to continue the pursuit, but the commander of the fleet ordered them to slow down. They're concerned about the catastrophes in the terrain. They've seen what happened to this ship.
At the current rate, we can expect to engage them at dusk.
We have bought enough time for Kasdal to retreat.
Teresa looks back at the two storms intertwining on the wastes, trying to catch a glimpse of the city. She sees nothing. Where is Kasdal now? Is it moving through the storm? Are the people in the shelters safe?
Storms are converging. Our retreat has been cut off. A battle is inevitable.
Teresa's?
I never thought I'd see you lose focus on the battlefield.
What's that?
That's...
Storms rage, the young taunting the old. The newborn storm slams into the dying storm to the war drums of thunder. Wing air currents clash and combine between the two storms. Violence begets peace, and a passage appears where the storms converge. Lightning flashes and thunder cracks. A path through the storm.
Storm.
Let's go, Teresa. The storm has given us both. To survive through it, we'll have another chance.
We'll do it together.
The Demazi cluster passes their command to every Sarkas present. The warriors see their leaders walk into the storm side by side and follow with no hesitation. The procession advances into the tempest, the strong supporting the weak,
the braves encouraging the fearful. Do you see that, Teresis? Within the roar of the tempest, they seem to hear the voice from the snowstorm in that childhood dream. They see the prophecy. The thin, cloaked figure turns at the sound of her voice and sees a storm-bound procession. Teresa sees a child, mist, gilded by the sun setting, shrouds her shoulders, rising and blending with the shrieking winds above. He takes off his gauntlet and stretches his bare hand into the mist. The mist dissipates, and in his bloodied hand is the stone blade the child is holding. You are... Grab... What are you doing here? You came in home. The child wrestles the blade from Teresa's hand and points it again at Teresa's and the procession behind him. There is no difference between man and the beast to the child who grew up in the wastes. You want to kill me? Kill you! Nobody taught her how to speak. She simply emulates the sounds made by those who pass by. Teresis? Teresis looks down silently at the thin figure. Let me show you how to hold a knife. You... The child hesitates for a moment before putting her knife in Teresa's outstretched hands. Bring me. Teresa's gazes into Teresa's eyes. Prophecy. A sword to slay the regent king, a spear to pierce the royal ring. But they have never cared much for prophecy. Very well. Come with me. The home of the Sarkaz is not on the Barrens. Do you have a name? Name? Me? From now on, you have a new name. Ascalon. Ascalon? Huh. 10 days later. The nomadic city of Kazdal. Doctor, the furnace has been relit. Is it moving? The city's finally moving. Ouch. Careful, your wounds might open again. I've got to go to the furnace. The furnace burns again, and Kazdal still sails. The Athenians didn't manage to kill us. Oh, I didn't mean you, Doctor. Come with me to see it. You deserve the same honor as the warriors who survived. But I'm not Sarkaz. You people are heroes too. Come watch their highnesses command the Goliath to support the leaning furnace. Watch their sparks fly when iron hammers beat the broken core. Hear the elegy of the Banshee, and witness the final journey of fallen heroes when they enter the furnace to fuel it. This used to be an occasion that only the Sarkaz could see. I would love to go, but there's still a lot of wounded to treat. Tell you what, I'll bring back a couple of bottles of booze and some fresh fruit, and we'll... You're not allowed to drink. Who the heck drinks in a medic tent? Come on, it's just a little flesh wound. No means no. It's your apathy that's the problem. Not to mention you're a terrible drinker. When did you ever see me drink? Oh, that time I was drunk, I came to you with a bunch of apathy bombs. Look, that was the only time in all these years. No, I can't afford booze. I can't stop you. Why don't you go yourself? Won't be the same without you. But I'm a Athenian. And? You support those nobles who profit off war? I ran away from home because I couldn't stand them. There you have it. Wait a sec. You say you ran away from home? Were you a noble? No. I was kind of thinking your equipment doesn't look like it's from Babel. Well, I won't speculate. Does nobody any good. So you can go on your own. I doubt the soldiers on the front lines would get along with the Lathenian. When I saw the Lathenian string my father up by a sewer entrance to humiliate him, I never imagined I could befriend a Caprone doctor either. Back then, the only people who showed us any kindness were poor infected, or both. Right, enough of the sad stuff. Be back in a jiffy. Seriously, when did the sarcasm become so glib-tongued with me? I wonder if this counts as progress, Teresa. In any case, Casdol's moving again. Things will get better. Back already? Well, it's about time you laid down. Oh, sorry, I thought you were someone else. Like, your wounds are really bad. Nobody treated your arts burns? The Lethanians did it. My son's dead. They burned him alive before my very eyes. I was the only one who lived. At least let me see your wounds. They burned him alive. He was screaming. They used darts to hang him in the air. For everyone to see. My brothers are dead. My captain is dead. The Lethanians stood on the high ground. Their raised staffs looked just like. With bloodshot eyes, the nearly deranged sarcast fixates on the doctor's staff, abandoned in the corner. The emblem of the home she had left behind hangs from the staff. Like a real. The doctor does not sense the hostility. She lifts his top to inspect the wound, but feels a chill run up her spine. You're armed. Why didn't the guards check you? The light of the soul furnace lights up the night sky above Casdol, like the midday sun. The fire's crackles echo like a mournful growl, a somber tribute to the fallen who have become its fuel. All the sarcasts set their eyes in the sky of the night. No one notices the light from one of the field's hospital windows go out. Oh man. Your Highness, why was I brought here? Ah yes, I have good news to report. What news? We won. We defeated the Lethanians, Your Highness. Me, my son, and the Blue Blood Squad. We won. We won. Are you not glad, Your Highness? Are we too slow? Blake, my son, bring me the battle plan. Son! Son? Sorry, Your Highness. I don't know where my son went. You killed a doctor, one who has served Casdol for years, treating neuropathy patients. Casdol? Doctor? No, you misunderstand, Your Highness. I only fight Lethanians. You read his emotions, Teresa. Pain, confusion, madness. He has driven himself mad to escape the painful memories. He doesn't even know what crime he committed. The others do. The guards discovered him brawling with another sarcas amid shattered casks of liquor, which ignited and spread fire throughout the field hospital. All await the king's response, but you cannot be the one to do it. Leave it to me. Your Highness, General, I gave my all to defeat the Lethanians. Was I wrong to do so? Your Highness! Take him away. His name is Logan, given to him by his mother, who was one of the first Babel engineers. He hardly uses any arts, but the guards were hypnotized by arts. Someone is behind this. The military commission will not investigate the sarcas for the sake of an outsider, not after they've just been through another ordeal. Neither should Babel. We have no choice. The war has just ended. We shall withdraw from military and political affairs, at least for the time being. You know that's not what Babel is about in the first place. I do, but many don't. I will define the parameters for Babel's activities. Babel members will continue to serve Casdol's medical, educational, and technological needs in this area. The military commission will continue to protect them, but we must make every effort to avoid conflict. There will come a day when the repressed hatred boils over, and even we will be powerless when that day comes. Casdol is in urgent need of a change. We have to solve the original problem soon.
But even that won't solve all our problems.
I know. I've always known.
Whoa, it's a young Ascalon! There you are, Ascalon. What have you seen of the city?
Death. People cry. People die. Cry. Cry. Tears?
Teresa stretches out his hand. A delicate stone knife lies on its palm.
I...
Keep it safe. A warrior should treasure a weapon. I will teach you how to sharpen your blade. But it's up to you to decide whom it cuts.
You're too impatient, Theresis. She's not ready to understand these things yet.
She has to understand, sooner or later.
Maybe. But for now, what we should do is give the frightened child a little bit of peace. Do you like the city, Ascalon?
Compared to the armored general, Ascalon does not like the sarcasm woman crouched before her.
She seems to see through all of her thoughts, leaving no secrets. A most dangerous thing in the wastes.
She cannot bring herself to be hostile to gentle sarcasm.
No need to be afraid. You know I don't mean you any harm. Come, touch my horn. We're the same. Warm. Here. Warm. Me. Yes, warm. Hatred and killing are not the only way to solve a problem.
Wait,
Problem?
Teresa says no more. It is difficult for a girl who has known nothing but the wastes to understand certain words, even with the help of the King of Sarkas.
She takes Ascalon's hand. It's like the wound on your palm. Weapons can't heal it. Only time and medicine can. Oh. It's okay. I've cleaned the wound. You'll need to take care of it. Be patient. One day, you'll wake up and find that it doesn't hurt anymore. Yeah.
Babel classroom, Castle.
What? Here. We'll wait a little longer. It's not lesson time yet. They'll come. Look, it's Teresa's.
Casualty report from the military commission. There are many children, most of them students.
The ones that lived.
Their parents are no longer willing to let the outsiders of Babel teach them. Plus, if memory serves, many of Babel's teachers have already left out of here. You're troubling yourself too much with trivial matters, Teresa. You need to rest. We still have to.
I want to wait a little longer, Teresis.
Very well.
He does not leave. The classroom is eerily quiet. Teresa closes her eyes and recalls the students who used to fill the classroom. Said we can get potatoes for coming to school. I didn't understand that one, Your Highness. Do you have any simple stories? You said you went to the outside with mercenaries when you were our age? There's a sea between Sargon and Liberia. What's a boat? Why can't we go up on deck? Why would we throw up? Lathanian spires? Are they like our furnace? People are nice to us. But Dad always says there's some foreigners like that. But the teachers here are nice to us.
Students come and go, but she always managed to get them to return. But this time, no one came.
Oh?
General Teresa's, Your Highness, You. The hilt of a stone knife hits the boy in the chest. Although unable to break free, the boy strains to look up at the tall, gaunt girl who has him pinned. I saw General Teresa's come this way. I just wanted to... Teresa, Your Highness, you're here too. This classroom, are you teaching? Put down the knife, Ascalon. Your Highness. You're looking for me? Yes, I came to seek an answer for the children who lost their parents.
I know the military commission will take care of them, as it took care of me. But will this change anything? What if another war comes? I want to change things, but I don't know what I can change, or what I should change. The two rulers gaze upon the fearless child, each arriving at their own answer inside. What's your name? Manfred. I kind of knew it was Manfred. Dad, we've been standing at the door forever. Why can't we go in? Mommy's hurt very badly. She needs some quiet to rest. We shouldn't bother her. Don't tell me he married the doctor, and the doctor's dead? Oh. But I miss Mom. Daddy misses her too. But not now. We'll go home together once I come back. Where are you going, Dad? I have to leave the city for a bit, to make the people who hurt Mommy pay. You stay here with Mommy, and wait for Daddy. Can you stay, Daddy? We'll figure out a way to make Mommy better, I promise. Do you like Mommy's name? Odda. Yes, it sounds very nice. It's your name now. But I'll teach you to fight the bad guys with Mommy's weapon, once I get back. Okay. I'll beat up the bad guys who hurt Mommy. I guess not, so it wouldn't be the doctor then. She didn't know how to fight. But will beating up the bad guys make her feel better? You'll understand someday, Odda. I'll be back. Wait for me. Good luck turns around towards the crystal-infested city wall. The only thing left that ties into the city is Odda. Odda and Odda. This guy has no naming sense. But then again, we managed to get through the prologue 1 and 2. But I think I'm gonna call it a day for today. Yeah. I'm not feeling the best today. So I'm gonna go grab something to eat. But we'll get back to this when we can. I want to stream more Arknights on Thursday so we can do more reading, but honestly I'm not sure. FGO might pop us something new and surprise us again. I think the event was announced, like the stream for the event is coming, I think. So it might be FGO this Thursday. But anyways, I'm gonna call it there, guys. Thanks guys for watching. Thanks everyone who happens to be here. I will see you guys later. Alright. See you guys later. Where's my mouse?